Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I have an intro for you for my Pan Those Eyeshadows. And this one will be going from about the 20th to the 20th of each month. I'm filming this one a little bit late, but I'm still focusing on my Panda palette for 2023 anyway. So I wasn't gonna work on these eyeshadows in the first part, or the first part of this update, the last part of this month anyway. But I tend to have this project running from the 20th until the 20th of November, usually. So November 20th until November or December 20th normally is my I'm just gonna focus on my Panda palette and not really anything else month. And then I do an intro again and start working on these shades once the new year hits. So let's talk numbers first. I have Pan on 61 shades at the moment. I have 484 shades in my collection altogether. Really close to bringing that to 483, but might be just one more day. I'm not there yet, so we're gonna stick to the numbers that we have. That is a pan percentage of 12.6, which is also what I ended with a month ago. And I have 9 eyeshadows in projects already that do not have pan yet, which, yes, that might relate to my Panda palette for 2024. That will be coming up after this one, is the plan. Anyway, that brings me to a total of 414 products that I can still pick from. So I'm gonna get my nice Christmas phone, open the Pretty Random app, and I'm gonna put in the numbers 1 to 414. Make sure I've cleared the history. And before I do this, actually, once again, I still have 1 shade left in my NYX palette that can't roll into this project. So first of all, that is going to be rolling into this project. That is shade number 1. Second of all, I had decided last year already, and especially after some feedback and thoughts from you guys, that I will only be working on 4 shades in this palette, in this project right now, because I have my Panda palette and other things that I'm working on as well, and I just wanted to make sure that I can actually focus in on the shades a little bit more and not distract from my Panda palette too much, even though I really like doing this project. So it definitely is here once again. And then lastly, of course, not too much interference with my Panda palette or any other shades that I'm already working on, which is going to be interesting because you guys haven't seen the palette yet, but I know what the shades are going to be. So let's just roll 3 shades and see what we're going to end up with. So hopefully you guys can see what's happening here. Shade number 1 is 210. Shade number 2 is 298. Yes. And shade number 3 is number 5. So yeah, I'm gonna quickly check and see what that is. And I have that right here next to me. So let me take a look. Starting off with 210 is... yes, it's a shade from one of my bigger palettes again. No, it's not true. Actually, it's just without that, outside of that range. It's a W7 in the Buff Lightly Toasted, which means that it's a warm shade, hopefully, because Lightly Toasted is kind of a naked dupe, Urban Decay Naked, and it's shade number 10, which might mean it's a darker shade, but we will see when I get it. 298. 298 just doesn't fall in my 88 palette either, but it is one of the shades in my Manly 120 eyeshadow palette, and it's the second shade in there, which likely means that it's a lighter shade. We will see. And then shade number 5 is all the way towards the top. It is from my Urban Decay Naked, and it is Hustle. I'm gonna have to see if that is not the same shade as the Lightly Toasted, because those 2 palettes are gonna look very similar, but I'm gonna get them and we're gonna see what I'm ending up with. Okay, I'm back. Let's start off with the NYX palette, because like I said, the 1 shade in here will definitely be rolling in, because I want to have pan on every shade in this palette, which is not the black yet, because I'm still working on the black. And the 1 shade in here that I did not hit pan yet on, that's not proper English, is this guy right here. So that is shade number 1 that I'm going to be rolling in, and that is not interfering with anything. Hopefully you guys can see this. My lighting here is not the greatest, but it's like a honey brown, bronzy, golden, not really brown shade. So that is that one. Then the first shade that I rolled in was the 10th shade from this palette. And like I said, I'm hoping it's not too dark of a shade, but towards this side of the palette the shades definitely get darker. So let's see what shade number 10 is. It's a dark brown. Is this gonna work with, like, it's more of a shiny. I'm gonna swatch it on my wrist just to see. To be honest, I think that might interfere too much with my Panda palette, so I am gonna roll something else for that one, because I have at least one darker brown in my Panda palette as well. The second shade that I rolled was from the Manly palette, shade number 2, which is not per se interfering with anything, but it's definitely a brighter shade. Here, 1, 2, so it's this orange shade. So let me swatch that one. It's these are all like a bit more chalky, but I guess it does work with the shade that I have already swatched there, because they're both warm shades. It's definitely just a very bright orange, but it's not too dark or too light. It's a matte, which it's always nice to have a matte, because I feel like 80% of my collection is shimmery shades. And then we had Hustle from this palette, which I'm pretty sure is also towards the end, so it might even be the same shade that the W7 one is a dupe for. So let's see. Huh. That one is not a brown but a purple, and I'm fairly certain that's going to be too similar to already that purple in my ooh, this is dark. It's very dark. Ooh. That is what that one looks like, and I'd say that is too close to the dark purple in my Catrice palette that I'm still working on. So two shades that are not going to go through, so I'm going to have to roll some more. I hope I don't have too many shades that are too similar to anything else, because that would be not nice. I don't like re-rolling, but I want to actually be able to show progress. It's 157 for this one, and then we have 259. Okay, let's check again where we're at now. 157 is Maybelline the Nudes shade number 1. Very likely a light shade, so that could work. Let's see. And 259 is shade number 50 from my 88 palette. Let's see what that is going to be. I'll be back with some more palettes. And I'm back again. First of all, the first one that I rolled is the Nudes by Maybelline. And as I expected, it is a lighter shade. Like there is a window in here, so it was hard for me not to see what I rolled in. That is this shade right here, which is going to be great because I will always need a highlight shade, which I guess this could definitely function as. I think you barely see it on my hand there. Maybe you can see it slightly. Yeah, so that is definitely gonna work. The lighting here is not great for showing you swatches on my hand, but it's also raining. It's very dark. It's raining very hard right now. Anyway, this is my 88 palette, and we're gonna search for shade 50. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, which means 22, 33, 44, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's shade 50, which I don't think is going to interfere with anything that I'm working on, because it's definitely a brighter shade than anything else that I'm working on in my Panda palette. It's a very bright, like aqua type of blue shade, which definitely doesn't work with any of the shades in here, but I do have some cool tone shades that I'm going to be trying to focus in on a little bit more towards, like, throughout the winter season. So I think that's gonna work, because I could do with a bit more pop in that palette. So yeah, this is the palette that we're going to be working with. Yeah, I'm very curious. Like, of course, I've got this palette, I've got a new Panda palette. I'm gonna have to play around with everything and see how I'm gonna be able to combine everything, how I'm gonna use everything. But I'm excited enough about what we're gonna be working on. I'm excited to hit my last not black pan on this palette and then hopefully start working on that black shade soon enough as well. So yeah, that is it for today. Thank you guys very much for watching, and I hope to see you in one of my next videos. Bye bye!